Welcome to today's team prosperity training. This training is coming off the backs of a marketing series that we did. So we're going to get in something new today and just follow the same framework. We'll do a basic, intermediate, and advanced session of the same topic before moving on to something else. So last week we concluded our three-part marketing series. We did a basic, intermediate, and advanced series. Those are posted online in our group. So you have access to those if you need to review those, or as you have people coming in that are learning the model and the business and the different components of that model, you can send them over. Those are always a backlog and a library of information. So today we're leaving marketing and we're getting into recruiting and building, which is an important part of your business model. It can afford you a lot of freedoms down the road if you do it correctly. Doing this business for a little while, I've really come to the conclusion that you have like a combination punch for success. It's a combination of building and learning. You're constantly learning, improving on what you're doing, adopting new strategies, that new information, digesting that, using it for your business. But on top of learning and in combination with learning, you're also continuously building. The reason that we want to build is because from a mission perspective, we can reach more people with distribution, and from a selfish income perspective, we can get a lot higher income and a lot more freedoms from distribution. There are three P's of the business success. That's process, product, and people. The process and the product we already have lined up for us, our agents. We do a lot of good. We solve a big problem with a legit solution. So our part of the business model, what we concentrate on both sides, the client and the partner side, is the people. What we're going to be talking about today is partners, whether it be referral partners, active agents. It's our job to go out there and introduce the possibilities for both sides of the business. Today, we're strictly talking about the partner side. Just like our client side, though, it is all about the people. You have to bring in the right types of clients to have the ultimate success that you're looking for, and you have to bring in the right type of people to have, in terms of partners, to have the right distribution success. So understand, no matter what side of the business model that you're currently kind of straddling, client or partner, it's all about the people. And it means a whole lot when you're building and building distribution to create the persona, like we've been talking about, create craft messages that are going to resonate with that persona, and then have them raise their hand and say, yeah, I want to talk to you more about the business model. Just like people are on the move and money are on the move on our client side, same thing is happening with the partner side. If you look around with all the digital disruption that's happening, the innovation, the technology, it's got people thinking, can they have more freedoms? Can they, take this wave of digital disruption and can they create something that has a business working for them instead of them working for the business? So understand, as you're out there communicating, contacting people, a lot of people are thinking about, how can I do this? How can I leave that old industrial style mentality of showing up at an office and doing this, or having physical locations that I pay for? You have to get in front of people and understand the advantages of working with us, our infrastructure, our solution, our strategies, our training support, etc. You want to find your niche. And just like the partner side, it's a lot easier to run this business if you understand who you're looking for, where to find them, and what to say to them. If you don't, you're just having random conversations with random people with random outcomes. So find your niche, dominate that niche, learn a lot about it. And like I said, create messages and conversation and communication that will interest that niche or that persona. Along the way, if you develop a persona and you figure out that it's not the right persona, or you're talking to somebody that's not in your persona, don't waste time. You're doing a disservice to them and yourself as far as just wasting everybody's time, your time, their time. It's not the right fit. Everybody is wired different. It's okay. Makes the world go around. Understand that. And then, sort people very, very, very quickly. So let's get back to some of the key questions. What is your primary motivation in recruiting? Well, if you're recruiting to sell people products, well, that's one reason people recruit. However, if you really understand recruiting and building, you understand what you're trying to do is you're trying to build distribution. And that comes from identifying, training, supporting, coaching, mentoring, dedicated distribution partners. Distribution is king. And when you're talking about, once again, from the mission-based perspective, if we're out there making things happen on a national level, you're influencing a lot of people through the distribution, helping people create financial stability and then a legit road to financial freedom. You're creating brokers, right? You can be a producer or you can be a broker. A producer means that you're building a book of business. It may over time have a little bit of residual, but basically as a producer, you are starting over month after month after month with everything on you. You got to go out there and make it happen. Broker side of the business means you're building distribution. It means that all of the income doesn't come from all of your active participation in the market. And that's a big advantage when you look at different streams of income, active, passive income, and all the things that can go from building dedicated distribution partners, from opening people into broker contracts and building distribution. In this way, you're not starting the month over every month after month after month with a certain number that you need to hit solely on you. This way, you can look at your business. You're one partner away from absolutely explosive growth. Now, a lot of times when we're recruiting and building, we bring somebody and they don't really do anything. You can't let the frustration of the no's or the not happenings or the not actives take away from your ability and your motivation or inspiration to build. Sometimes building gets very, very, very frustrating. Maybe you're not finding the right people. Maybe the people that you bring in aren't doing anything. Once again, you have to understand you're not looking for thousands and thousands and thousands of people. You're looking for a core group. And when you can explain the value of what we have from our side and what it can do for them, and the fact that it's a win-win-win, it's a win for us, win for our partners, win for our clients. What's that worth? What is that actually worth to have a turnkey business system? And what do I mean by turnkey? It means it's plug and play, it's predictable and profitable. So when you're out there talking, you need to have some of this language down. Hey, we have a turnkey business system. We're not asking you to come in and help us build the system, build the infrastructure. It's plug and play, it's predictable, and it's profitable. And it helps you create a powerful digital franchise opportunity, allows you to work from home or anywhere. So some of the freedoms that people are looking for is not being tied to a physical location. If that's what their value disruption point is, that's what you're talking about. Just like the client, you want to stay on cue and on point of what they're interested in, not what you're interested in. You're talking to them about what this can possibly do for them. Dedicated distribution partners build distribution. And when you build distribution nationwide, you're going to find that your business goes into an entirely different level. And what you have is you have different types of problems. They're growth problems. You want to invite those growth problems into your business because that means things are happening. Just like the other side of the business on the client side, the partner side is exactly the same. And once you understand this, it's a lot easier to go out there and build and recruit. Just comes down to two things: understanding your market and what your message is to that market. Online business. Is somebody trying to build an online business out there? What are the risks, the reality, the mindset, the answers, the people, the options, the entrepreneur factor? You want to position yourself to help people, either, depending on what the persona is, doing the things, the goals, and what that persona is trying to accomplish. Building, recruiting, distribution will take you from a six-figure producer to a seven-figure builder. So you have to grow yourself. Remember, you can't help other people grow, and you can't coach and mentor other people until you've done it for yourself. So grow yourself, then grow your business as a mentor. Rise to the moment, understanding that financial stability and financial freedom is something many, many, many people crave. We have blueprints and frameworks to get there. That creates the business opportunity for us. Income doesn't build wealth. If you make $250,000 a year and you spend $240,000 a year, you're not going to become wealthy. But income generating assets do. You want to start looking at your business, at the distribution model, as not really a business or a model, but an income generating asset. Once you start talking and helping people understand, hey, what we have is an income generating asset that you can build, the language and the conversation changes. Coco Chanel said there are people who have money and there are people who are rich. What does building mean? Well, it means that you understand everything's a numbers-based game for us, whether you're talking about the client side or the partner side. On the partner side, if you can develop a business model where your core agency, your branch office, has a growth of 10 active agents coming in per month, that's going to be what you really need to get this thing going. Of that 10 in the agency, you've got an individual responsibility of 3. So 30% of your branch should come from you. Why is that? Because you're setting the tone, you're setting the example, and also you're making sure that if the other part of your agency does their job, you don't want to fall short because you didn't do your job. That 3 and 10 combination will uncover your core group. And once again, your core group's not hundreds of people. Your core group is about 7 to 10 people who really buy into this model, understand it. They're self-starters, they're sponges. They go out and make it happen. Through the process of 3 by 10, you get to those 7 to 10 core business partners. They're going to help you build nationwide distribution. How do you lock those people in? If I find a good person, how do I lock them in? By understanding the value of ownership. So let's say I've got 3 people in and one of those people is really making it happen. What am I going to do? I'm going to reward that person with ownership and business building and agency building. So you lock them in through ownership. You identify the ones that are making it happen, and then you try to help them go out and make that happen. One of the things that you do and reward them early on, lock them in with ownership. You need to find people that are eager for success. So let me give you an example. Obviously, I have a special needs child, but if I was going and talking to somebody about an opportunity, you wouldn't learn that about me until way later in the relationship. People that lead with their problems are going to always find the excuses to justify why they can't do something, don't have the time, or aren't to the point where they want to be in their business. You want to find people that, yes, we all have problems, but put that stuff to the side and that are eager for success. Understanding that success is not a straight line. So when you're out there, if you're just saying, we call it the candy high or the uninformed optimism when somebody first starts something, they're just like all excited about it, but they have to understand it takes work, and that work has to be compounded over X period of time. So yes, are they eager for success on the one hand, but on the other hand, do they understand what success really takes? If you want to get people excited about your business and inspired to join you, you need to have a vision, but you also need to be excited about the potential possibilities, not for yourself, but for them. Just like with our clients, be excited about potential end outcomes. If they're excited about the potential of an end outcome, we can backfill all the how of getting it done. Lay the advantages out. What is the advantage of using our technology, using our infrastructure, being part of our organization, having the training, supporting, coach, mentoring that we offer? Lay out the advantages of helping them understand, hey, you've got this, you want this. This is how we can help you form a mutually beneficial relationship. And these are the advantages of the relationship. Paint the picture. Remember, just like the clients, it's not how are we going to get it done? It's the wow end destination. If they're excited about the wow, we can backfill the how. Paint the picture of success. And if they buy into that picture, buy into that vision, you've got somebody who could potentially be maybe one of those core agents that you have. Also, when you're out there, people can talk about what they do, how they do it. Very few people can talk about why they do it. One of the things that will help you differentiate yourself from other recruiters and builders is talk about, hey, what do we value? We value customer satisfaction, cultural diversity, positive environment, accountability, innovation, teamwork, quality results. You know how many organizations out there don't value any of this stuff? So when you're talking to somebody who's maybe been in a past organization that didn't value this stuff, and this is important to them, by highlighting some of this stuff, now you've got their attention. Also, one of the ways that we can take away and make sure we're talking to a quality candidate is set up expectations. You have client expectations, you have partner expectations. People will either fall in line of what they're expected to do, or they'll give you a reason why they can't fall in line and handle those expectations. And once again, if they can't, that's just a disqualification. Once again, this is a sorting process. Any part of the sorting process where the disqualification comes up, we're done. We're moving on. Focus on the relationship. Remember, if you're going to have that core 7 to 10 people, you're probably going to be pretty tight. You guys have a business relationship, personal relationship. Eventually, they'll be independent and be able to go out and do this on their own. But through that process, remember, recruiting doesn't stop when they come in. It's a 90-day cycle after that to make sure that you're investing time into people to get them to the point. Now, if they're not doing their part, don't invest time into somebody with no result. Here's what they're thinking. With so many opportunities out there, and we're talking to somebody, if they're interested in what you're talking about, Here's what they're either telling you or here's what they're thinking. Is this real? How can I do this? Who's going to help me? So those are the things that either you're going to be answering or preemptively answering in your communication. And then we really want to know, hey, what have you been doing in the past? Like I said, what somebody's done in the past can be a leading indicator of what they're going to do in the future, or it cannot. But we want to understand, hey, what have you been doing in the past and what level of annual income are you accustomed to making? And then going forward, what is their motivation? What is the level of income they're looking to make with us going forward? Big goals is something that people should have. If they're limiting themselves on the front side, thinking small, when we think small, we really allow a lot of those excuses to be justified. So big goals don't allow excuses to come in. This is the disruption. Just like you have a value disruption point for your clients, you have to identify with the person you're speaking with. What is the value disruption point? Do they hate their boss? Do they hate the commute? Do they not make enough? Do they not spend enough time with their kids? Whatever it might be, you have to find the value disruption point and keep highlighting that for them to help them understand what we can do to help them alleviate those issues or problems. When you're recruiting, when you're building, when you're contacting, communicating with these people, no matter if on the front side, middle, back side of the conversation, what's really happening? Because if you're just out there talking, nobody can absorb all those words. And also, you're not getting the information you need to uncover a problem that you have a solution and action step for. So once again, get other people talking, because by them talking, you answering or asking questions and answering questions, you're going to uncover the information that you need to carry the conversation. Partnership is like putting two puzzle pieces together. Does it fit? Or are you trying to jam pieces that don't fit together? Don't force pieces that don't fit. And create an outline. Create an outline for conversations. Create an outline for questions. Create an outline for everything you do. It's a lot easier to be scripted in what you do. That doesn't mean you become a robot, but if you go into a conversation with an outline or a script, it's a lot easier to have a beginning, middle, and end point versus like a dog chasing its tail. Hey, we're talking, but there's no end point. Nothing's really happening. It's just, we're just basically wasting each other's time. What is that checklist? What does that help you do? Well, it helps you talk to them about taking maybe, low performers, average performers to high performance, and high performers make, a lot more money, and they're able to influence a lot more people. Which are they? Which do they want to be? Also in your outline and those expectations, we're looking for people that can get outside of the comfort zone. So realistically, you have to understand the people that will be your core group, they're not going to be everybody. And if you're trying to bring in everybody just to throw them against the wall to see what happens, it's a lot of work. We're going to be working hard. We want to work smart. We do that by finding these people on the front side that can break out of the main population, break out of their comfort zone, and do the things necessary to get the things that they want. At the end of the conversation, what we're trying to identify is, are they interested or are they committed in their life, business goals, and dreams? Everybody's interested in something that has a positive or an end outcome that they want, but not everybody's committed. You need to find the people that are committed to actually making it happen. And once again, along the way, no matter if it's 1 minute, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, third meeting, whatever it might be, once you find a disqualifier, you either pivot the conversation over the client side if appropriate, or you move on. There's no sense continuing the conversation because, like I said earlier in this training, you're wasting your time and you're wasting the other party's time. This is a lot of times when we talk about interest versus commitment, or the ability to have, to see through, could this person possibly be a core member of my group? Well, these are the reasons that people want. And these are the reasons that you would find to disqualify somebody. I'm not going to go through the whole list. I put these up there so you guys can have this. But as you identify these kind of things, those are, red cards. And when you throw the red card up, it's over. Let me go through just a quick list of questions or kind of things that you want to think about as you're recruiting, as you're communicating with potential recruits, and when you're trying to build. What is your partner's, or what is your potential partner's financial situation? Are they in a destitute position right now where they're worried about making their car payment or their mortgage payment? Once again, this is a business that you're building from ground zero. You're not going to go from 0 to 100K in 30 days. It just doesn't work that way. So is the partner's financial situation going to be an issue? If so, you need to talk to them and build a bridge. Hey, I can help you on a longer term basis if you can be committed to this. But in the short term, you've got to find a way to get your bills paid and then also have the motivation to continue to do this with your free time. If that's something they can see through as you guys talk through it, great. If not, red card goes up. What are your potential partner's expectations on the time involved? Hey, I can give you 2 hours a week. Red card, right? 2 hours a week isn't going to do anything. I can put your link on my website. Well, there's no website visitors that go. So you have to understand, is this person's expectation of what's involved and what it's going to take to be successful? Is it unrealistic or skewed? Because if it is, red card. Is your potential partner's commitment to the business as strong as yours? Now, we're very committed to this business. As we can find other people that share our commitment, guys, that's a potential home run or a grand slam. That's a potential one of your core partners. If the commitment is not even there and it's just interest, once again, red card, we're done. Is there something in your potential partner's family life that might make the business a secondary interest? Like we talk about, we all have problems, issues, but is that issue going to be on the forefront, or is that problem going to be on the conversation point every single time? If you're talking to somebody, they're constantly talking about their problems, negative issues, or whatever, that's going to bring you down. You don't want to deal with that on a continuing basis. And then the business can't be a secondary interest. They've got to be committed to making this work. How would they handle a tough situation? Are they going to get extremely angry? Are they going to get upset? Are they going to quit? Or are they going to be able to have some level of emotional intelligence to work through this, whether it's a personal problem, professional problem, partner problem, client partner problem? How would they handle a tough situation? Mark Cuban once said, I can tell a lot from a potential entrepreneur I'm going to work with by the questions they have for me. If they don't have any questions, that's a problematic leading indicator. Or if the questions don't make a lot of sense in terms, are they growth questions? Are they not growth questions? Once again, what questions do they have? That can tell you a lot about where they are mentally and what they're willing to invest to make this happen. Are they willing to put in everything necessary to be successful? If they are, great. If they're not, probably, not going to be someone who's going to stick around for a very long period of time. You don't want somebody coming in for 30, 60, 90 days, giving a good amount of effort, and then just leaving because they had unrealistic expectations. So are they willing not only to put in the effort, but let that effort compound over X period of time with the consistency and grit to get this done? Do I really need this partner? That is a question you should be asking yourself every single time. Do I really want to deal with this person? Do I need this partner? Do I think they're going to do anything, or do I just think they're going to waste my time and bring me down every time I talk to them? What happens if we can't work it out? Is it going to be my fault, or is it going to be their fault? Or are they just going to understand, hey, this just didn't work out as expected? Because that is also a big point. If they're going to blame everything on you because they did absolutely nothing from their side, that's a red card. I don't even want to deal with that. I'll cut that off from the beginning stages so I don't have to deal with that later on. You need to have a system in place. That system is going to equal growth. So we're not just doing random things every day. And the way that you understand if you have a system in place is pretend you were asking yourself, hey, what do you do? How do you run your business? How do you recruit? How do you get clients? If you're talking to yourself or you have no idea, or it's just like random thoughts coming up, you don't have a system in place. A system will allow you to grow and build distribution. What is our system? Well, outside of the infrastructure, people need to understand, especially if you're dealing with people in the financial industry, there's not a lot of training, support, coaching, mentorship. So outside of the infrastructure, the technology, everything we offer, it's training, support, coaching, and mentorship. Hey, we're going to invest time, energy, and resources into you. I need to make sure you're the right fit and that you're going to be worth our time, energy, resources, and investments that we put into you. Use the takeaway, guys. It's not an open door where everybody come in. If you have a system in place and you're duplicatable or replicatable, whatever it is that you want to call it, you can build agencies nationwide. And one agency on the East Coast versus one agency on the West Coast doesn't matter when they were formed, how long they've been in business. Everybody is doing the same thing. That's how you manage distribution and agency build out. Couple things I'll leave you guys with. Remember, on the client and the partner side, contacts equal contracts. So if you're out there recruiting and building, but you're not talking to anybody on a daily basis, and you're just expecting some email messages to do all the work for you, it's not going to happen. We talked about this. Reactive doesn't get anything done. Proactive does. Contacts equal contracts, and you're going to get wealthy by connecting with people. You cannot get wealthy without connecting to people. The more people you know, the more deals will flow. And that goes on both sides, partner and the client. Build a brand, be your brand. Have a focus, be genuine, tell your story, be consistent, be ready and willing to fail, create a positive impact, follow successful examples of people that are making it happen online. Live your brand, let other people help tell your story, have fun. It's not always about, trying to get a partner or a client. Sometimes it's just about being real. Hey, I spilled coffee on myself on the way to a luncheon or something today, whatever it might be. People are going to buy into you, and then they're going to buy into the business and your ability to help them be successful in the business. So, be a brand. Yeah, we have technology, we have all these products and solutions, but you are the brand on the front side. Live your brand. Like I said, this right here is what I want to leave you guys with. If you're in this business, you obviously believe in what we're doing for what it can do for other people as well as yourself. If you believe in something, bet big. What does that mean? That means betting your professional life, and that means being guarded for your time. Work with people who deserve your time, not need your time. And the last thing we want to know is, hey, if we've gone through this process and we're identifying good quality candidates that are committed to making it happen and they can live up to the expectations, who's coming with me? So next week, guys, we're going to get into it more. We're going to go to the intermediate part of building and recruiting. And the next week after that, we'll go into the advanced, which is actual examples, of text and templates and all this other stuff that you can either use yourself or learn from.